I think the competition this year is going to be as tough, even if not tougher, than it was last year.
If I were to win the Insurance Apprentice, it would be a beginning of a dream, not the end of a competition.
I have what it takes to win the Insurance Apprentice because I am a stand-up guy and I am the best at what I do.
Win it on my 10th year in the industry, in the 10th season. I'm here to win.
I want to be the best.
I am cautiously confident that I'll make it through to the next round.
I'm confident and I know I can get the job done.
I have what it takes to become the next Insurance Apprentice because everything I do to the best of my abilities.
It would almost be the stamp of certification or authority to say I've done it.
I was inspired by the previous season and I thought this was an excellent opportunity to push my boundaries, engage with people and just network.
I want to take my career to the next stage and I've been doing this for almost a decade now.
I definitely think that it will change my life.
Looking at the competition, I'm going to eat them.
If I were to win the Insurance Apprentice, it would mean everything to me.
If I were to win the Insurance Apprentice, this would mean that I am one of the best in the industry and that has been proven in front of everyone.
It's never about the maybes, it's now, it's today, or it's never.
Morning, brother.
I feel overwhelmed, excited, nervous.
I was so excited when I found out. I phoned my mom first. You know, my wife second, so we mustn't put that on camera.
So what are you expecting, Katie?
Hopefully to go better than last year.
So you made it to this round last year?
Okay. I entered again this year because there is an age restriction on entries of people only up to 35. I turn 35 next year, so this is the last chance.
So it's all our first time?
Yeah. It's scary, eh?
When I give it our all.
Then we'll be fine.
I will be fine.
We have like 50% chance of making it, guys, so it's much easier and more relaxed.
The flip side is now you've got the best of the best, so it's tougher than what it was.
It's okay.
My strategy to make it into the top 10 is to just be myself. Honest, sometimes a bit blunt.
So I actually made it through to the top 10.
Wow, sure. The competition is real now.
No, you know what? It's a different set of people. So you know what? I was happy I made it through here. So
I think I need to be a bit less diplomatic when doing these interviews. I feel last year I was a bit subtle and trying to be the good guy. So just a bit more honesty this year. I feel will take me a bit further.
The reason I entered the Insurance Apprentice initially was 2 of my colleagues were pushing me to enter. They said they think or they thought I can make it.
I know who's going to make it. Warren's going to make it. This man can sell sand in a desert anywhere. And you will pay with your last bottle of water. Would you buy? I would buy.
You already know that that's what you're targeting. This is where now I have to be a wolf in a sheep's skin. I have to blend in and I have to know when to go for the kill.
If there was a public figure for insurance, I think holistically I could maybe be that person.
So how many are you? 6? Top 6?
Top 6!
Top 6?
May the best guy win.
Good morning, ladies and gents.
Good morning.
Welcome to season 10 of the elimination round of the Insurance Apprentice here in South Africa. You are the top 20. Give yourself a massive round of applause for getting it this far. Although 20 of you have entered this room, by the end of today, only 10 of you will remain. The rest of you will be exiting the Apprentice and going home today. I have the absolute honor of welcoming you to One Discovery Place, the headquarters of the Discovery Group. I would like to introduce our judges.
Hi everyone, my name is Christopher Appena, and all of you might know me as the current insurance apprentice for 2023.
Hi everyone, my name is Wimpy van der Merwe, and I just want to wish you good luck for today and remember to have fun.
Good morning everyone, I am Thokozile Mahlangu. All the best, you've got this.
Good morning all, you look ready and bright. My name is Lina Mabena. You have come this far and this is it. And it's actually in your hands. Good luck.
Good morning contestants. My name is Donald Dinny. I'm looking today to see each of your standout collaboration. All the best.
Good morning everyone, I'm Lizelle van der Merwe. Some of you I recognize from last year, so welcome back. But all the best with the rest of the morning and good luck.
Thank you, Lizelle. You top 20 out of nearly 150 applicants. It's a massive accolade. So irrespective of what goes down today, you can be very, very proud of your achievement thus far. Shivani, you were a top 10 last year, if I'm not mistaken, in the last episode.
Yes.
Tell us what happened, because I believe you pulled out.
Well, I had to pull out for personal reasons. So, I'm not sure I want to disclose that, but I think everybody in the room knows.
Okay, well, welcome back, and we wish you well. And then Gabriella, I think I remember you too from last year.
That is correct.
Do you have any words of sage advice to the rest of your contestants based on your experience in the previous round?
I would say definitely just stay calm. Like, don't let the pressure get to you and then forget what you were going to say when you had great things to say in the first place.
Thank you, Gabriella. Okay, without further ado, I think it's time and fitting that we introduce to you the main task of today. The importance of insurance has been highlighted over and over again. Insurance is the cornerstone in helping clients in times of need and assisting the country recover as a whole. However, insurance companies do not operate in a vacuum, and there are a multitude of external issues that impact insurance risk and risk exposure. In many countries, including South Africa, the private sector partners with the public sector. And it's important when those two areas come together because you can unlock incredible synergy. So this is the brief. You are an exco of an insurance company. The insurance company is called Protect Now. Over the past year, this exco has been discussing various external issues that have been raised by different stakeholders with the concerns that are impacting insurance risk. These issues again include the load shedding, poor infrastructure, climate change, increasing social conflict in the country. And the exco of Protect Now is deeply concerned about this and would like to come up with creative ways in being proactive. It's quite a task. You have been divided into your groups, you know who all your team members are. Your time starts now.
Keep the energy. We're gonna get there. Let's just.
Okay, so I've got the okay. So now let's go on to the tech solution because I'm starting to stress out about the time.
Okay, so tech solution, as we said, it's a VAP, right? It is amazing. The energy is just electric. Everyone's excited.
Where in the presentation must I put that? I just want to know where to put it because is that under tech?
The problem statement needs to be a home run story.
Timoa was our leader. He had a very great idea, so we kind of just rolled with it.
It was my idea from the get-go, so I do know how to nurture this actual point.
Yeah. Just have a concept that we're going with the idea, yes?
Do a presentation. Yeah. So we're going to need to decide on kind of who's doing what sections to address.
I'm happy, I'm excited. I like to work in a group and just being collaborative, and you just get to understand that people can contribute so much to a bigger picture.
How do you ensure cohesion?
We've identified that we're all strong individuals, and that's why we've divvied up the work according to that. It challenged us on group level to collaborate to make sure that our teamwork is up to scratch.
one thing to think about, and it's not to, we just have to also keep in mind if it does become to a robot at a traffic light, you must remember something like Outsurance also has a solution there already.
It's stressful. Trying to get everyone working together on the same page in a limited time period is difficult to do.
No. If we don't just opt to not gather the information, we're just giving power away and hope for the best. So sorry, okay, now I hear you.
It's great for everyone to speak and have an opinion, but we can't all drive at the same time. So every once in a while, you need to reel people in.
Let's get our own license and find out what the fees are.
The augmented reality is the outcome or the post.
It's giving you data, it's not the solution.
Yeah.
It's basically getting the data from the app, it's diverting the water and then purifying it and redistributing.
Because I was here last year, I found that, the best thing to do is start reading the brief and find a way forward.
So maybe you can separate it out, the stats. I'm trying to figure out a marketing strategy for this thing. We're spending a lot of time on the problems and all these other things, but I'm here to provide a solution and I don't think my team is there yet.
What rock bottom problem? Because that's the solution we need to find.
The person at the end is the one we get. I don't care about government and stuff. We're bringing the solution.
What I found to be challenging is just the group dynamics, how we work with each other. We've never seen each other. We've never been with each other.
Who's the leader of the group?
We haven't selected. Okay, self-appointed will give you...
Well, it was my idea. And so I was leading. That's a good point, actually.
I just have a tiny little problem with Tristan because he's not giving other kids a chance. He literally is speaking or talking over others.
That's definitely the point of your section, Simon, is to highlight that any solution has risks.
Egos there and there, one wanting to shine more than the other.
The solution that the team's running with was the solution I came up with, so I do feel a bit of an obligation and a burden to try and help guide the team as to what that solution means.
Let's wait for Darius, yeah. You guys are like pitching me a question, I'm trying to offer the answer, then you interject before I can give you the answer, then we go off on a tangent, then we get back to the question.
Sure. Working with my group members, there was significant friction because we didn't yet know each other. Sometimes we'd be on a roll with regards to an elaboration on a topic that we're very passionate about, and somebody would have to call us back and say, let's get back to the point at hand.
Darius speaks or sings quite a lot, and the issue with people with big personalities is that everyone wants to be heard or thinks their idea is the best.
A strong suggestion from my side would be the exact same conversation.
With government, right? The particular partnership is if that robot is not working.
I do think Temwa is definitely trying to take over the conversation. As much as he's been very responsible for the idea of the solution, the execution is really a group initiative.
The drivers who are on radio know that this thing exists.
So now before we go there, because you spoke about radio, there's a budget. So the reason I cut him off is because he'll be cutting others off. So sometimes it's a, hang on, X was speaking.
I mean, just let's get those things in.
What we came up with earlier was the solution is...
The people that was most in the power struggle was Shivani and Jason, and the two of them was just applying dominance.
Mitigating just by diverting water and purifying it.
Yeah, but how do you sell that?
So the app is diverting the water.
Everyone, because we're not on the same page. I feel like Shivani, she needs to just rein it back a little bit because it's been a little bit tricky to get our word across. The augmented reality is the outcome or the post.
It's giving you data, it's not the solution.
Yeah. I mean, remember, at the end of the day, this is a competition. People want to win.
We're really behind on time. It's likely to go up to the last minute.
We have everything that we need, so let's wrap up.
Honestly, we're going to fail at this task. We've got no presentation, we've got no content, there's no direction.
So I'm actually concerned if we are going to nail the presentation, but I do think that we have a solid idea.
South Africa's inflation rate is at its highest in over 5 years.
Hours of load shedding.
For more on the climate change.
Continue to track developments in KwaZulu-Natal following flooding caused by recent heavy rains.
These are very trying circumstances, and our aim was and is to assist our clients and the local community through this traumatic time.
Good afternoon, Group 1. Your time starts now.
Good afternoon, everybody. We are the team from Protect Now Insurance, and we are here to tell you about our solution called Robo Alert.
We know that once we leave here, on our way home, and there's load shedding, we will come across a robot that is not working. And with that comes an increased risk of a car accident. And we see that there's a tow truck parked there anticipating the actual accident. This is where we say that if tow trucks can anticipate the accident, so should insurance companies.
So essentially how it would work is the users of Robo Alert will gather information using apps from e-hailing services to location services.
We would be piggybacking off of solutions that already exist, like your insurer's actual applications, Google Maps, Waze, and those type of applications.
Marketing ideas.
Okay, so there's just a bit of a mix-up.
We got cyber risk security, which would be very important to have, as it could be data breaches. And following that, we obviously are working with clients' personal information, which is POPI, plays a big role, and would have to make sure that that is in place.
So just the brief was, you can't use a solution that's been used before.
What makes this solution different to Waze or Google Maps? Because right now I can report that a traffic light is out.
What's unique with this idea is that Waze does give reports, but it only gives reports to drivers who actually use that, right? It doesn't address the taxi driver who doesn't use Waze, who already knows the route.
Anifa, you made a comment that there was a mess up or a mix up in the presentation.
We messed up just a little bit who was supposed to be next. So it was just that little.
But why did that happen? Did you not agree who speaks 1, 2, 3, 4?
We did. Maybe it's just nerves and being here and You
may now leave the room.
Oh my God. I was like, wow, we really bombed this, huh?
I don't feel like I had enough to say, but I had a lot of people that had a lot more knowledge.
Pretoria is ranked the worst city in the country when it comes to traffic, according to the TomTom Global Traffic Index, placing 147th globally and 9 places higher than the next highest South African city. So the solution that we're looking at today is to improve traffic flow and traffic management, starting first within the Tshwane Metro.
This will incorporate smart traffic lights with backup battery systems, branded control boxes, which enhances the corporate image surrounding the partners involved.
So we are initially proposing the a billboard campaign where we, same as what we fight for safer roads, as well as the branding of the boxes next to the traffic lights that will assist us to get investors on this matter.
Besides just the robots installation itself, we're looking at about, just for the robotics, that's our telematics and our smart things installed onto the robots, as well as the maintenance, we're looking at about 1.6 billion. We are obviously not going to go and do all those robots all at once. That obviously is not realistic. So we were thinking of doing it in groups of 200s.
Theft and vandalism. We cannot eliminate theft completely, but what we can do is to mitigate the risk of theft happening. By doing that, we will be installing those cables will be of steel.
In terms of the stealing part, I'm assuming you're going to be installing batteries, and we know what happens with the batteries. You spoke about steel. Flip, guys, they still steal the most.
Without sounding acidic, can someone tell me what is the solution?
The first point of call that we're starting with is simply a change in your traffic lights. Your traffic lights can then be included with the software to manage the...
So you're going to replace all the traffic lights?
Yes.
2,150?
No, we're looking at scaling them at 200 at a time.
We're going to amend the existing ones to cut cost. The government already is providing the robots, which means less cost there.
Just take us through the numbers.
So a normal robot costs between 1.2 to 1.5. And then the 2,135 is the total number of robots in Tshwane.
So the figure that you have per robot there comes from where?
From Google. It comes from Google.
actually don't know what you are addressing.
Honestly, guys, you haven't factored in anything around project development, feasibility, site surveys, planning and permitting. You're coming with a solution that has absolutely got no foundation, no proper grounding, and that is a business set for failure.
The judges feedback on the group was harsh, very harsh. The questions were grilling.
I am a hopeful and optimistic individual, and I don't let people or words get me down.
To say that the energy crisis has left our country in a disastrous state will be an understatement. But our main focus is that we are defining what exactly do we mean by the energy crisis and what it has brought to us as the community.
We had to speak into how does the energy crisis link to insurance. And one of the 4 things that we obviously identified was the fact that it increases the frequency of power surge claims, right? It increases the actual cost of insurance because, as you guys know, as there are more claims, right, there's a higher loss ratio we're seeing in policies that usually results in higher rates and premiums for the buyers.
We have come up with an idea that we're going to build a solar farm that is going to supplement supplement the electricity supply from Eskom so that the population doesn't completely rely on Eskom alone.
Who came up with this concept?
I can take a responsibility for that. So initially, I think it was a group effort.
So you're saying you came up with the idea of the solar farm?
The farm specifically, but the base idea, yes.
And did anybody else challenge him on this idea?
It's not supposed to be to subsidize Eskom or to be a complete alternative to Eskom, but it's supposed to provide people with some degree of relief, especially once we've identified that load shedding does lead to higher claims.
Are you an insurance company or are you an energy supplier?
I think important to remember is Discovery is also not a telematics company or a tracking company, but they've harnessed...
Can I interrupt you? We are. Discovery Telematics Services is a registered company.
I think I've done enough to make it into the top 10. I believe that I've put my best on the floor. I believe that I've left everything that is there to be adjudicated for them to see.
Look, I'm nervous. I was able to make sure that we kept within point and we tried to manage the time as much as possible.
The potential product that we have developed is aimed at mitigating specific risks associated with the flooding in KwaZulu-Natal. We have created a shell of a concept called Protect Aid.
In claims for the 2022 April KZN floods, the claims totaled about 45 million for the motor, household and commercial sector.
What we will do with the surveying, we'll see where the heavy floods are at and directed at, and with our qualified engineers, we will try to divert the water to reservoirs that can be used, or JoJo tanks that can be used for water later on.
Our app and our technology that is underpinning the entire solution that we're trying to bring will include our special source, which is our augmented reality. So anyone with a phone camera can actually use this to see if there was a flood in the area. You'll be able to actually see the levels of the flood.
The first thing that we're going to do is dedicate 5 million rands. This is just to go to existing infrastructure and take care of blockages, because that's usually what causes floods.
The infrastructure problems which cause the flooding, whether it's dams, canals, systems, including blockages, would cost tens of billions of rands to fix. And you say that a ZOZO tank is going to resolve the problem.
The moment when I heard you talk about drains, it sparked my attention, because I thought, this is really something that people can relate to in South Africa, and it is a problem in South Africa. But then what you did is you brought in so much complexity, and as a result of that, I wouldn't invest a single cent in your business.
can I just be honest? So when we started, I'm sure most of the judges did pick this up with our team. There were a lot of ideas that were being thrown around. Some wanted simpler, some wanted more complex, and I think at a point, time became a constraint, and there was something we all agreed on, and we kind of ran with it.
So you settled?
I would say we did, yes.
I want to know from each of you, what would you describe your team dynamic as?
Strong but a little chaotic.
Power struggle.
Power struggle between?
Shivani and Jason.
Not everybody was given an equal opportunity to share what they wanted to. Shivani's got a lot to say. We're not given enough time to step into that role and actually let her or allow her to listen to us.
I blame myself. I'm usually someone who takes charge. This time I didn't. It was a matter of I want to learn from other people. I feel it cost me.
Who added the most value to the final outcome, and who was the most destructive?
I think most value out of the content and just presenting here, I would say Keba. He really brought it right now. And the most destructive would be the power struggle couple.
No, I think you guys are right. I mean, I walked into the room, you couldn't agree on anything. You couldn't agree on roles, you couldn't agree on the topic. You spent a lot of time arguing about nothing.
The judges pointed out a power struggle between myself and I think it's Shivana. And that was a little bit difficult to answer when they did question us around that.
The destructive, power struggle, and it wasn't me. I honestly don't see myself working with the same group members again. It wasn't a good match.
Kiba, he was excellent, and I think he should have led us, and I wanted him to be the leader, actually. So yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the final stage of the assignments today, and this is the final task ahead of us, where we will thereafter find out who from the top 20 will be in the final 10. The next task is pretty easy in theory, but it will test you on how nimble you are as you grasp a new topic and how effectively you communicate. It will test how well you can negotiate and sell a theme. There are many brokers in the room today, so I'm hoping that we will all be wowed with your phenomenal sales techniques that you put in the practice in the field day on day. I will be calling you up in groups of 2. One of you will argue for the topic that I present, and the other one will argue against the topic. So without further ado, can we please have Anifa and Darius? Nap rooms in the office.
Yes. We all need nap rooms. The days are so long. We need a work-life balance, people.
You want to make sure that you come to the office productive, ready to work, are able to perform at peak performance. Otherwise, you aren't suited for the job. Ultimately, napping is for people who are old, tired, and retired.
Open office layouts.
I want a closed office layout so that I can speak to everyone confidentially.
We are able to communicate well with each other instead of closed doors in closed offices and everybody to themselves. It builds the culture, it builds the freedom of expression as well for certain people.
Prescribed colors for office attire.
But more so, when we were in school, there was a uniform, and uniform shows some level of responsibility, some sort of direction.
As long as it's professional, legal, and often good and pleasing to the eye, I think that we should definitely be allowed to wear what we want to wear.
A 4-day work week.
I mean, you're just going to work harder in those 4 days. Why not just take it easier for the 5?
You have an extra day to go to your child's recital or to go and assist them prepare for a play or study.
and most importantly, you'll be able to rest.
Work experience is more valuable than a tertiary education.
But I think getting the experience in, knowing exactly if the industry is for you before actually getting that tertiary education is going to actually help you in the longer run.
With a certification, so at least if you are a fireman and you have a certificate, you're on the job and you know what to do, you know where the hose are, you know where the things is.
Bring a child to the office once a month for educational purposes.
It's a place for professional people to work. And if I've got a child in the office, I'll definitely not be working myself.
It also allows you an opportunity to take care of your child yourself.
Mandatory long service sabbatical.
If you've been at the same company for quite a while, burnout's going to be sitting in, you're going to be getting tired. You need to take a break, go decompress, do something else entirely.
A long sabbatical takes you out of the infrastructure of the business, out of your industry, out of everything that you're comfortable with. And when you come back, it's just a headache to kind of get you integrated again.
Participation awards at school.
I am for participation awards at school because it's encouraging to the children to see that if you are participating more, you are actually getting rewarded for it.
I feel like you are rewarding people for mediocre. Reward the people who are actually winning, the champions, the winners, the best in the group, and not just being there and participating.
Insurance Apprentice Top 20 delegates. That's the end of the formal tasks for today. It's now the point where my esteemed judges sitting next to me will assist as we lean out and cull the herd, so to say, and get our top 10. At this point, I must ask you to please leave the room and give us the time needed to deliberate. Thank you. Esteemed judges, it's now suicide hour, where we have the thankless task of deciding on the top 10. I think most of us throughout the day have kept a pretty comprehensive scorecard on how we're going to rate these individuals.
The fact that the judges are in the next room deciding my fate it's a bit stressful.
I think I did do enough to make it to the top 10 today. It's always a tough question because you can always do more.
I must say, quite impressed with the caliber this year. Not just on the presentations, but more importantly on the collaboration.
I felt I had a pleasant proposal together in my function. I had fulfilled what I had mandated the team to do.
I wish I could have done better when it came to the teamwork aspect, but like I said to the judges, it was a big power struggle.
I think you were probably somewhat generous in your commendation of the quality of the presentations. I think there were various degrees of disaster, and I think they missed the mark.
We were very rushed on the project and we had so many ideas that we couldn't break it down into the narrower portions of what we needed to filter it down to.
Yeah, it was brutal. I'm still like reeling from it.
But we've been disagreeing on the fact that being an overpowering personality may be a disadvantage, and I think that's absolutely not the case. We want them to stand out and we want them to showcase their personality. So yeah, I think that disagreement we agreed to disagree on that one.
I wish I had more time to speak. There wasn't enough opportunity for myself because I was kind of pushed to the end of the presentation.
Do I wish that I'd done things differently? Yes, but what's done is done. Because some of the feedback that I got was that they felt like I was too quiet. I was authentically me, so if I get through, I get through on merit. If not, it is what it is. It's part of my journey.
I don't entirely agree, Lynn. I get your point. I've got this one in front of me. Very vocal, but no substance.
Everyone contributed, but not everyone made valuable contributions.
And I did find that a few that were quite vocal and not giving others an opportunity to speak didn't really have substance.
Don't you need a bit of both, though? Because think about a situation where you have, like this one in front of me. She is very good, she's got a lot of knowledge, but she's very quiet. So you kind of need to dig deeper. Imagine you have 10 of these in a team. You're not going to get anything done.
If I had to do this again, I would definitely speak up more in the group setting and not just allow everybody to speak over me.
This show is not about you being the loudest person, the most articulate person in the room in order to make it to the top 10. Because there are some quietly powerful individuals in this group this year.
I feel anxious. Also, I suppose, scared of what's of the outcome today. So if it goes well, great. I'm happy to go to the next round. If it doesn't, I take it in stride and come back next day and try again.
But I think from what I'm hearing and looking at just the allocations on the table in front of us, it looks like we've agreed on our top 10, which is exciting for the top 10. But it seems like we've now reached the time where we need to break the news to those that are going home. I think we should call them back in. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The time is nigh, it's upon us, where we have to make certain decisions. These are difficult decisions. Not all of them were slam dunk decisions, I can guarantee you. First and foremost, I do want to commend you once again. As the top 20 out of the entire field, you were the top 13% of the field when you walked in here this morning. It's been a long day, and I trust and I hope that you've built many, many lasting friendships from the experience thus far. I also trust and I hope that you will use the learning and some of the feedback that the judges have given you, not just to further your career, but to pass it forward, for you to pass it forward to your teams and to your colleagues. In no particular order, from groups 1 and 2 to please move forward. David Bapela, Dominique Kruger, Gabriela Dutoy, Simon Rungwani, and Sheena Mapashi. The good news is that you have a little bit more capacity ahead of you over the next couple of months, because unfortunately I have to dismiss you. Please leave the room. Can the groups 3 and groups 4 please come forward? Will the following people please step forward? Mandilake Madikani, Jason Mazen, Celeste Ryan, Kibafetse Magoshi, Shivani Keshav. We've now got 3 lines of people. We've got the row 1 at the back, we've got row 2 in the middle, and we've got row 3 in the front. There are 15 of you left. You know that this is an episode where we must find the top 10. Which means 5 of you must depart. Row 1 at the back. You are safe. That leaves us with row 2 and row 3. Front row. You're safe. You are going through to the next round. Row 2 in the middle. Unfortunately, I must ask you to please leave the room. You are dismissed. Congratulations to making it to the top 10. Top 10 contestants, big congratulations. Well done. Some of you were borderline fortunate. You were fortuitous in what happened today. So please, I do ask you, and I think I speak on behalf of the esteemed judges on the panel, please do not take this lightly going forward. Do not accept mediocrity from your teams going forward or from yourself. You're as good as your last assignment. You're as good as your last presentation. Well done, and all the best with the rest of the Insurance Apprentice. You are dismissed, and if you can please exit the room on your right.
Top 10, baby!
Season 10, top 10.
Top 10, baby. Yeah.
I cannot believe I made it to the top 10. I'm elated. I'm humbled. I'm excited.
Now that I'm in the top 10, I am so happy. I didn't think I'd make it.
Making it into the top 10 has made me feel very proud, very excited. Was definitely a stressful day, but yes, I'm excited.
To win the Insurance Apprentice title would mean so much to me. It would be an immense achievement, and I think it lays the groundwork for a lot to come in the future.
Woo-wee. I feel great, I feel excited, but at the same time, I am drained. If this was a relationship or a marriage, I would have walked away.
My strategy is to continue being who I am, and hopefully it's what the judges are looking for.
I have taken names of those who have made it through, and I'll just go back, do my homework, and see how I can out-compete, outmaneuver my fellow contestants.
You are the hunter. Don't be hunted in this competition. Wolf, sheepskin. That's it.